Hello everybody, thank you for joining me for part 3 of your weekend love reading from March 27th to March 29th, 2020. Keep in mind this video will be for Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. I will have parts 1 and 2 in the description. These can apply to any placements that you have in your chart. For your cross watcher, I don't judge you, but keep in mind that you will have one of these placements in your houses. You will have all of these placements in your houses. We all have every single placement, or no, excuse me, not placement, every single sign in a house in our natal chart. So that said, I do implore you to have your natal chart open while we do this reading. Keep in mind time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you, another person, or vice versa. So do not force it if it doesn't fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That said, I hope you've had a beautiful week. I just put out the weekly reading. That will also be in the description. But I'm going to go ahead and take a deep breath so I may connect deeper with higher self and spirit. I do implore you to do the same. Call it to spirit to please help myself and anyone watching this to hear, see, and know anything we need to hear, see, and know for the week of March 27th to March 29th, 2020 in love. Hello Sagittarius, hope you're doing well. Keep in mind that this reading can apply to any Sagittarian placement that you have in your chart. If you are a cross watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have a Sagittarian placement, you will have Sagittarius in one of your houses. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Keep in mind time and energy are fluid. These messages can apply to you or another person or vice versa, so don't force it if it doesn't fit. But that said, we're going to do 2 shuffles and get into your weekly love energies for the weekend of March 27th to March 29th. What do we have for you? So we have Temperance reverse, the 4 of Pentacles reverse, the 8 of Cups reverse, and 10 of Wands, clarified by the universe, and the Empress. So let me straighten these out and then we'll get into the overall energies that came out for you. This could very well pertain to a counterpart situation, given that the Empress has come out, but this can also pertain to your inner feminine energy. Keep in mind it's not gender specific, we all have these energies within us, masculine and feminine. So what I'm seeing here with this overall energy, we have the universe and the 10 of Wands, with the Empress clarifying those. When I see the universe, to me this represents essentially divine happenstance, divine timing, is it? But the fact that we have 10 of Wands tells me that you may be coming to the end of some difficult cycles within perhaps a love relationship, given this as a love reading. 10s in the tarot to me represent coming to the end of a cycle. It can also represent burdensome energy, but the fact that it is a 10 is speaking to the fact that this cycle is ending. So what I'm feeling like here with the Empress in this context, and spirits tell me this more so applies to your internal energies right now. If we do have counterparts that come out, we'll speak on that. But right now I'm feeling like you have come to a long-standing phase of healing. I feel like a lot of us have been in this stage of kind of incubation and healing both the divine feminine and masculine aspects of our experience. And we're finally coming out of that. I feel like just as a collective energy, and for a lot of the messages that have come through for the signs, that feels to be what's happening right now. So given this context of the reading, this does feel to be the same for you. But what I am seeing here in particular with the Temperance, 4 of Pentacles, and 8 of Cups, all of them reverse. Temperance to me represents balance. When it's in the reverse, it tells me that you may be a little bit off balance. You may be holding on too tightly to things, what I'm seeing here with the 4 of Pentacles reverse, and you may not be fully letting go of something that has been eating at you for a while. But I feel like you're getting to that phase, or it's like you're getting to that phase, or you're just getting out of something that was in this energy, right? You may be getting out of a relationship that was imbalanced, something that you may have wanted to get away from for a while. As the overall energy, it looks like the universe is pushing you to step into your power, to really take your power back both internally and externally, and stepping away from things that really just are not healthy for you. But let's clarify a bit here. Oh, well, I'll take these, I suppose. So let's see here. What do we have? We have Queen of Swords reverse, clarifying the Temperance reverse. We have Nine of Pentacles clarifying Four of Pentacles reverse. Nine of Pentacles reverse, excuse me. We have the Eight of Cups clarifying the Eight of Cups reverse. It's quite interesting. And then we have the Nine of Cups up here, King of Swords bottom of the deck. So we do have counterparts coming out now that we have both the King and the Queen of Swords. Again, this can apply to both your internal masculine and feminine energies. It can also point to a relationship you may be dealing with. Given both people are in the reverse, this can represent some difficulties in the partnership, hitting a lot of bumps in the road, so to speak. With the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, that tells me there's a lot of unhealthy, selfish behavior going on. It tells me that you either need to recognize it or you need to walk away from the selfish behavior on both ends. And I feel like that's the reason there is this Temperance, Four of Pentacles, and Eight of Cups reverse energy. It's as if this energy between you two right now is the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles reverse. And so it's as if you need to recognize the fact that your selfishness on both ends, like there's a difference between, having healthy boundaries and being selfish for the right reasons. But if you're being selfish to be selfish and to hurt other people, that's what's causing you both to be in this unbalanced state. And you need to really learn to walk away from that. And if both of you can't seem to come to some kind of agreement, maybe that's just time for you to focus on yourself. And that's what I'm seeing here with this Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups to me represents the need to focus on the internal emotional aspects of your experience. It can represent wish fulfillment. It can represent working towards the 10 of emotional fulfillment. But what I'm feeling right now with this Nine of Cups in particular is you need to be a bit more selfish. Not in the sense of being toxic and unhealthy, but also recognizing you should know when to step away from that. So it's almost this contradictory energy of like being selfish, but not being unhealthily selfish. And I think that's going to look different for everybody because only you will truly know how to interact within a relationship as it pertains to being selfish. But we're going to get a closing message here for you. The animal messages, to see if we can get some final guidance with these cards. So, closing message, we have the Owl. So, seek out deeper knowledge to see through deception. I think this is spot on with what's going on between you two. I feel like there is quite possibly a lot of deception, especially with the fact that we have the Nine of Pentacles reverse and the Eight of Cups. It feels like somebody's not being open with their dissatisfaction in the relationship, and that's what I'm seeing here with the Eight of Pentacles reverse, the Eight of Cups reverse. There's just not really an openness, there's not an open line of communication, and there's a need to see the deeper wisdoms of the situation right now, especially if you're not communicating with each other, because if you're looking at these two cards in relation to each other, they both have their backs turned, they're both in the reverse, there's a sense of needing to focus on the individual opposed to the partnership, because by doing so it's going to strengthen the partnership should you decide to move forward with it. But I think a final closing message for you, Sagittarius, is again, focus on yourself, work through what you need to work through, bring yourself into a state of balance instead of focusing on so much what you can do for the relationship, especially if it's not a reciprocal relationship, if there's really no give and take, if it's just give and receiving nothing in return, understanding that this person or you are not obligated to give anything. And if you're not open to receiving what's being given, then that's going to affect the dynamics of the relationship. So I think if anything, this situation here is teaching you to face yourself a bit more, take accountability for your part in the situation, and recognizing ways in which you can find deeper wisdom and meanings to the situation you may be facing. But that is all I have for you, Sagittarius. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Stay calm and stay safe, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, Capricorn. I hope you're doing well. Keep in mind that this reading can apply to any Capricornian placement you have in your charts. If you are a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have a Capricorn placement, you will have Capricorn in one of your houses. That said, I do implore you to have your reading open while we do this reading. Oh, not your reading open, your natal chart, excuse me. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you, another person, or vice versa. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But that said, we're going to do 2 shuffles and get into your energies for the weekend in love for March 29th to March 29th. 27th to 29th. I'm completely messing up this intro. Apologies. 2 shuffles for you and we'll see what we got going. Those wanted to all fall out, so we'll just take that here. Oops. Alright, what do we got, Capricorn? We have the 8 of Swords reverse, 10 of Pentacles, Lovers reverse, King of Wands, or Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, with the Prince of Wands. I'll take the King, Queen as well, and the King of Cups. A lot of court cards on the table. I'm going to take all of these, because these are all really applying right now. Well, so let's get these straightened and we'll delve into this, because this is a lot that wanted to come through for this reading. So, I mean, I'm mostly drawn to the fact there are so many court cards on the table. And there's a 10 of Pentacles with an 8 of Swords reverse. So I'm feeling like the fact that the Hierophant's here in the overall energy, this King of Pentacles reverse can represent you. It is an earth sign, earthly type of energy. I feel like you're keeping yourself trapped in situations you don't need to be in. So this feels like this can be a familial situation, this can be a group of friends, this can be, it doesn't really feel like a third-party situation. I mean, we do have some type of counterparts on the table. We have the Princess and the Prince, the Princess and the Prince. We do have the King and the Queen, and the King and the Queen again. They were all of different suits except for this Princess and Prince of Wands. So what I'm feeling right now, it feels like your lesson is to learn to think for yourself. Quite honestly, I feel like you're relying too much on the opinions of other people, to the point of not seeing the situation for what it is. And so what I'm seeing here with this King of Pentacles, I feel like this does represent you in this situation. Being that you are clarified by this Prince of Wands reverse, it's telling me that you're not really moving forward in the way that is true to yourself. And that's why I'm seeing this Princess of Wands over here in the upright. So it's like you see the situation, but you have these two people in between you. I'm gonna be honest, this really feels like you two have like exes that are between you two right now. This is what it's feeling like. You have the Queen of Wands with this Prince, right? But then you have the King of Cups reverse with this Princess of Wands. Given there is a Lover's reverse and the 10 of Pentacles, this tells me that there is a lack of decision being made. There is a lack of closing of this cycle, because one or both of you are keeping yourself trapped to the opinions and influences of other people. And there's the need to really get real with yourself, like both as individuals and as a couple, to recognize where people's projections may be coming in and having a negative impact on the way you guys are connecting in this connection. But we're going to clarify here. I'm just going to clarify the seams because we already have a lot of cards on the table. I'm just hearing too many hands in the pot. You need to learn to set boundaries and not always listen to what people have to say. Because this can also, like I'm being told, this can also represent like your parents. So like if this is like a new connection, this can represent like parents getting in the way, maybe projecting their own failures and fears onto the relationship. So maybe learning to keep a bit of that to yourself if you don't feel comfortable having too many people, give opinions where they don't need to be given. So clarifying the seams here, we do have the 7 of Cups reverse. Okay, I'm going to try not to mess up all the cards because we have a lot of cards here. So we have Queen of Wands, and then clarifying we have the 10 of Cups. We also have the King of Swords, and I'll put that here, clarifying the Hierophant. I'm going to throw it up here because I do see the 9 of Cups reverse bottom of the deck clarifying as well. So the main message I'm getting here with this 10 of Cups, with this lover energy, because we do have counterparts on the table. Oh wait, do we? No, we don't have the King of Wands on the table, never mind. So we do have another Queen of Wands, but we have the 7 of Cups reverse and the 10 of Cups. But I'm drawn to this 10 of Cups, because 10 of Cups to me is a beautiful card to have. It can represent coming to the end of a particularly difficult emotional cycle, but what I'm feeling here is there is a lot of potential for a happy relationship to blossom, but it's really going to take you taking your power back to get there. And that's what I'm seeing with this Queen of Wands, to come to the end of this karmic cycle, to get past the influences of these other people. You're going to need to learn to stand up for yourself and your partner in the relationship. And so if you both know what you want out of a relationship and you both are happy together, you're starting something new perhaps you've even been together for a while, but there's a lot of people that are seemingly trying to get in the way or get you to separate, or whatever it is that's getting in the way of this relationship. You need to be on your King of Swords and Queen of Wands status. And what I'm seeing with these two, particularly the King of Swords as this overall energy, is you need to walk away from the unhealthy, self-indulgent behavior of people that are clearly just trying to influence you in ways that are for their own benefit. And that's what I'm seeing with this 9 of Cups reverse, because the 9 of Cups reverse represents self-indulgence to the point of detriment. So this can represent, to me, this feels like this very selfish energy of these other people. And I feel like the King of Swords as the overall energy can represent an air sign you're dealing with. You could also be dealing with a fire sign. I mean, we got nearly every sign on the table, so it can really apply any which way you want to. But the fact of the matter is you need to get clear with the people in your lives. You need to set boundaries with people in your lives and recognize that at the end of the day, you and this other person should be the ones that have the say in your decisions as it applies to essentially every aspect of the relationship, and nobody should really have a say other than that. You can listen out, you can hear people out and listen to what they have to say, but at the end of the day, make sure to listen to yourselves, talk it out amongst each other, and make sure that you and this other person are both in agreement of what to do when it comes to this many people trying to influence you. It does feel like a very overwhelming type of energy, especially with the Seven of Cups reverse. I feel like it's taking out the playfulness of the relationship. It's like you're not really questioning what it is some of these people have to say, whether that's you or this other person, but there needs to be a questioning of it and realizing that you do not have to hold yourself captive to these people's opinions. Because I'm also seeing a situation where this can apply to social media, right? So maybe you just started like talking to somebody and you're, displaying affection to each other on each other's social media, and maybe people aren't happy about that. Maybe there's like exes that are still watching. Maybe there's like friends that aren't actually your friends, maybe there's people who are just talking behind your back, and there's a lot of just this weird, like really just shady energy going around. But it's really understanding that that has nothing to do with you two and everything to do with the fact that they have unresolved issues they need to face. But let's get a closing message here for you, Capricorn. What advice do we have? So closing message for Capricorn, we have the wild boar, of course. So it says, whatever tradition or others expect of you, only be true to yourself. And this is a perfect way to close the reading. I mean, it's just a complete amalgamation of everything that came out, and it's recognizing the fact that you need to be true to yourself, even if it means going against the traditions of your family, because a lot of the times those traditions are rooted in very unhealthy and toxic behaviors, and there's a need to think outside of the box, so to speak, and recognize that your relationship may not always fit in the box of what your family wants. It may not always fit in the box of what your friends think you want, and you really need to get to know yourself well enough to understand where your boundaries lie with these people and in this relationship. But keep in mind, this can also apply to the person you're dealing with too, where it's as if maybe this person is trying to get you to be a certain way in the relationship, or they want the relationship to go a certain way because their family says so, or whatever it may be. Understanding that sometimes you have to just really stand up for yourself and be true to yourself and say, hey, like, I'm really not okay with this. I understand that this is important to your family, but it makes me very uncomfortable, or vice versa, right? It can go any which way this applies, but that's really all that I have for you, Capricorn. It's a time of needing to stand up for yourself and needing to have some very honest and real conversations and make some very, very honest and real decisions. But I hope you have a beautiful weekend. If you'd like a book of personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. Stay safe and stay calm out there. I love you all so much, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, Aquarius. Hope you're doing well. Keep in mind that this reading can apply to any Aquarian placement you have in your chart. If you are a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but do keep in mind that you will have a Aquarius in one of your houses, even if you do not have a placement. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you, another person, or vice versa. So if it does not fit, do not force it. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But that said, we're going to do 2 shuffles, and we're going to go ahead and get into the energies for the weekend of March 27th to 29th in love for Aquarius. What do we got for you, Aquarius? We have Queen of Swords, we have the Prince of Swords, we have the Six of Pentacles, and then we have the Chariot, clarified by the Prince of Wands, the Hierophant. Okay, I'll take the Eight of Wands too, because that wants to come out. We're going to leave it there. Straighten these out and get into the energies for the week. So if we're taking a look at this overall energy here, when the Hierophant is in the reverse, that tells me that there are lessons you may not be learning right now. There is a lesson that needs to be learned, or you're being held down by dogmatic beliefs and traditions, right? So what I'm seeing with the Chariot and the Prince of Wands is you need to really stay true to your spiritual path and recognize that while you're moving down your spiritual path, that may not sit right with everybody, but a lot of the times we may feel uncomfortable as we step into our power because we don't recognize what it feels like to be in that state. If we have been consistently in states that have been unhealthy, and particularly in the context of relationships, if we have been in the Six of Pentacles reverse energy with somebody, if we have always been in relationships that have been unhealthy and not reciprocal in any type of way, it's going to be a little bit scary when we have to step into a new aspect of ourselves. So let's take a look at this Queen of Swords and Prince of Swords. This can represent counterparts in the sense of the Prince of Swords can represent the masculine, the Queen of Swords can represent the feminine. However, the Prince is still in an immature type of energy, and the Prince isn't a king. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm feeling like this Queen of Swords does represent you, given Aquarius is an air sign. You may be feeling like you're not really willing to put up with people who aren't committal. You may not be willing to put up with people who are just you feel like are stringing you along. So what I'm seeing here with this Six of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Wands, it feels like this Prince of Swords here has been maybe coming into your life. They've been moving in very swiftly, right? They've been this Prince of Wands energy. They've been coming in really quick, giving you a bunch of loving messages, and then all of a sudden they just like ghost for like a week or what have you, you know what I mean? But it just doesn't feel like a healthy type of energy. It feels like you're kind of getting fed up with that, and you're starting to see what it is that's trying to be shown to you, but there's a need to take that step back to see the situation more clearly, or clearer, however you say it. Let's clarify though. Clarifying the Queen of Swords, we have the Seven of Swords. Clarifying the Prince of Swords, we have the Justice. And clarifying the seams up here, we have a Queen of Cups. And then clarifying, that's really it. The bottom of the deck's not really resonating right now. So what I am seeing here with the Seven of Swords and Justice is basically recognizing the fact that you don't have to like try so hard to take your power back, is what I'm hearing. Is like you kind of have to let the universe do its thing and let karma do its thing, because if this person is truly in the Seven of Swords energy and what you're perceiving is true, then that's going to work itself out. All you need to do is detach and do your thing. What I'm seeing here though is with this Queen of Cups reverse, I feel like this can represent the energy of the person you're dealing with. I mean, the reason they're doing what they're doing is clearly because they're not in a healthy place themselves. When the Queen of Cups is in reverse, that shows somebody that's very hurt, somebody that is very, very emotional, to the point of making irrational decisions based on their own emotional trauma that they're not facing. And so I feel like the big lesson for you right now is you need to let this person heal. You need to let this person do what they need to do. And if they want to be in and out of your life, you need to just set that boundary and be like, hey, I really like you. I really do want to give this a chance. But if you're going to be inconsistent and you're going to be, flighty and just, doing whatever have you, then I'm not okay with that. And I want to let you know that this is how I'm going to interact moving forward. I mean, it doesn't have to be so cut and dry, like do it in a way that works for you. But that's just seems to be what's coming through right now is recognizing what you will and won't put up with and being very vocal about that. But you don't always have to set the boundary vocally. You can essentially just set the boundary by shifting the way you interact with the person, shifting the way in which you give your energy away, and perhaps not giving so much of your energy away. So we're going to clarify. Closing message. The animal message is here for you, Aquarius. Closing message for Aquarius, we do have the Tortoise. Tortoise says, when changes are made for the sake of change itself, resist. What I feel like more so with this card, it feels like now is a good time to protect yourself. It does say something about that in the book. It speaks of retreating into your carapace, which is the tortoise shell. So not being afraid to take time away from this relationship and recognize the fact that this person is more than likely acting out of their own unhealed trauma. While that is no excuse, you do need to recognize that that is what is happening often. And if this is you in this case, if you're the one that is acting out in this way, you need to take the time to step away and heal yourself and understand that this person is picking up on that, and they're recognizing the fact that you are going through your own stuff, and that may very well be a reason why they are taking their own steps back and why they are shifting the way they interact with you, because oftentimes people are more perceptive than we give them credit for, and they know when they're like, everybody goes through stuff, you know, everybody has their things they need to heal, but that's no excuse to treat somebody else in a way that is going to continue that pattern. So if this can go any which way, you can be this person or this person can be doing this, but it's recognizing the deeper workings here, recognizing this Hierophant reverse, the lessons that are being healed right now, the things that are being brought up because of this connection in both of you. And it seems like you're both catalyzing each other. That doesn't mean you got to stick together. It doesn't mean you got to work things out. But it does mean that you have to take accountability for your own healing and the emotions that do come up during these times. But that said, that is all I have for you, Aquarius. If you would like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much. I hope you stay calm and stay safe out there. But I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello Pisces, I hope you're doing well. Keep in mind that this reading can apply to any Piscean placement you have in your chart. If you are a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have a Pisces placement, you will have Pisces in one of your houses. That said, I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you, another person, or vice versa. That said, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Do not force it if it doesn't fit. But we're going to do 3 shuffles and get into the reading for your love reading for the weekend of March 27th to March 29th, 2020. Alright, cut the deck for you, Pisces, and see what we got for you this weekend. Keep in mind, this can apply anytime you watch it. It doesn't just have to be this weekend. Bottom of the deck, we already have the Sun, which is a beautiful energy with the 6 of Cups. And over here, we have the 9 of Wands reverse, we have the 7 of Pentacles reverse, and the 10 of Wands reverse. So this is some interesting energy that we will delve into once I get these straightened out. What I'm taking note of here is the fact that we have the Sun and the 6 of Cups. So what I'm feeling like here, there may be the opportunity to rekindle something with somebody. The 6 of Cups can represent the past person card. It can also be a soulmate card, but it can also represent the card of emotional reciprocation. So what I'm feeling like right now is it feels like somebody wants to come through from your past. I'm going to be quite honest with you. And that's what I'm seeing here with this 10 of Pentacles reverse. Oh no, excuse me, 10 of Wands reverse. 10 of Wands reverse speaks to me of the ending of burdenous cycles, right? Specifically within the realm of love, but the fact that it's in the reverse is telling me that this person that is wanting to come around may still be harboring some of this karmic energy, emotionally distraught energy. They may be wanting to come through in a way that isn't going to be conducive to building a healthy connection. They may be coming around to rehash the past, is what it feels like, and that's specifically what I'm seeing here with the 7 of Pentacles reverse and this 9 of Wands reverse. When I see the 9 of Wands, that speaks to me of there being like aggressive communication or like a type of gossipy type of energy, like too many people having influence in the relationship, but not so much as these people are actually trying to dig their way into the relationship, but it's all these ideas and concepts that have been taken on by either you or this person that are causing this 10 of Wands reverse energy, that's causing this relationship to be stuck in a stage of not getting past the past, so to speak, especially with the 7 of Pentacles reverse. When I see the 7 of Pentacles in the upright, to me that's a cat and mouse type of game. That's telling me that this person, yes, they may be still healing, but it doesn't feel like they're coming around to play games this time. While this can represent you in the situation, you may be wanting to move forward with somebody, maybe to talk things out, you want to try to work things out with somebody, but it doesn't feel like it's an unhealthy type of energy. I do want to clarify though and see what comes out. So we have the 6 of Wands clarifying the 9 of Wands reverse. We have the Hanged Man clarifying the 7 of Pentacles reverse. And we have the Lovers reverse clarifying the 10 of Wands. And that's about all that's coming out. I would say I'm going to take the 9 of Swords reverse, but it's not really speaking to me right now. So what I'm seeing here with the Lovers reverse clarifying this energy, especially with the Hanged Man, there is a sense of needing to just like take a hold before moving forward. This can be the card of Gemini. You may be dealing with a Gemini. It can represent a twin flamey type of relationship. However, we have no court cards and we have no counterparts on the table. I mean, it can be a deep spiritual connection, let's be honest, because we have the 6 of Cups, can be the soulmate type of energy. This may very well be a karmic type of situation you may be dealing with. There may be some karmic debt that needs to be paid in terms of this person. Maybe there's some things that need to be worked out between you two in order to finally put a lesson to rest, finally heal a lesson that has been nagging at both of you for a while. Can very much be the case, but the fact that we have the Hangman here with the Seven of Pentacles reverse is telling me that right now there needs to be a sense of just stasis and internal reflection before really truly trying to go towards the Six of Wands energy. The Six of Wands energy, it really feels like there wants to be a calm, cool, and collected communication about the fact that there does, I don't know, it's like this person or you are wanting to come forward and say, hey, like, I don't want to be in this Hangman energy anymore. I want to move towards the way of the sun. I want to try to form a new opportunity with you. I want to let go of the fact that we were at a crossroads. But what I'm also feeling, it feels like there was an indecision when it comes to commitment. I feel like maybe you or this other person was very non-committal, and that's what I'm seeing when this Ten of Wands reverse and the Lovers reverse. It feels like, yes, there's a lot of love there, there's potential, but there was just this very uncomfortable sense of non-committal energy in the connection. But I feel like that is being worked through right now, which is why we see the Six of Wands. I feel like commitment may be possible, but it doesn't really seem like it's something that's going to happen like right away. It feels like if this is something that's going to come up from the past, it's going to be very slow and go. There's going to be a lot of maybe bumps in the road in terms of really working out some of the kinks, not only within the relationship but within yourselves, and really truly evaluating if this space has been healthy enough to make you want to be with this person still. So let's clarify. Closing message here for you, Pisces. So what do we have here? We have the Frog. The Frog says, adapt and survive by accepting the inevitable and seizing potential. So I do feel like this is a very fated type of relationship, especially with the fact that we have the Frog here saying, you know, accepting the inevitable and seizing the potential. We have the Six of Cups here, we have the Six of Wands here, we got the Lovers reverse and the Ten of Wands reverse, right? So I'm feeling like this is a very fated interaction that needs to happen, and it's going to set you both on the paths you are obviously already on, but it's going to help accelerate some of the healing that is being done in both of you. So I guess if anything, it's learning to adapt to the changes. Let's say you do decide to reconnect with this person. Keep in mind, like, you don't have to. Like, if they come around and you decide it's not for you, it's not for you. There's no need to play games. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, if you're not ready or if you don't want to do this, either you or the other person need to speak up about that, depending on which side these emotions are coming from. But there needs to be healthy communication, and I feel like that is possible right now with the Six of Wands here. So just accept the fact that if this person comes around, there are going to be some inevitabilities within the relationship that need to be worked through. If this is a soulmate that you want to attempt to work things out with, you need to recognize the fact that you're going to have to work through some things with this person. You may have to hash out some things that you thought you guys were done with. There may be some issues that need to be dealt with, right? Without sounding redundant, I think I'm just going to leave it there. There's really not much else that is coming out, but it does feel like there is a lot of potential for this to flourish into something beautiful. Specifically with the, you know, the fact that the card is saying, I guess it is the card, the Frog card, saying seizing potential. So take this time to really connect with each other on a deeper level and maybe let go of some of the petty games you may have gone through. It seems like the potential is pretty good here, but it feels like you both need to work through some of the heartbreaks that you may have caused each other. And that's what I'm seeing with the Lovers reversed. I mean, I know I said I was going to leave it there, but that's coming out for me. Lovers reverse can represent heartbreak too. I didn't seem to acknowledge that at the beginning. It can represent needing to face the heartbreak you have caused each other, because it feels like you both hurt each other. And needing to face that is going to allow potential to grow and allow you to both seize the potential of each other. Potential 3 times in a sentence, I think that's one too many. But you know what I mean here? A lot of potential, a lot of beautiful things are afoot. A new beginning does look like it is abound, but there's some things that need to be worked through both externally and internally. But with that said, that just concludes your reading for the weekend. I love you so much, Pisces. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Stay calm and stay safe, and I will see you in your next reading. But that actually just concludes part 3 of the weekend love readings. I will have parts 1 and 2 in the descriptions, as well as this week's collective reading. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye.